Hey friends, with you Vishal. Are you watching RD Group of Management Training Academy? Today we will talk about the quality of ground handling services. The study on the impact of quality of ground handling operation at airports in Europe concluded that at most airports there were changes in the quality of service since 1996. But there was no trend that was seen from the airports researched. This may be because the drivers for influencing quality varied between airports. In general terms, quality of service is influenced by the ground handling service provider, the service level agreements between the airline and infrastructure at airports such as better facilities provided for ground handling. Airport Research Center, 2009. One of the concerns raised by most airlines during the interview process was the quality of ground handling service offered by the national carrier of India in the past. Most of the rating given by the interviewees was 2.23 out of 10, 10 being the best. Quality of service distinguishes one airline from another. The level of service offered by the airlines determines the competitive edge one airline has over the other. In such a scenario, ground handling service is also a significant part of the ground operation. Although the initial regulation prohibited the airlines from performing self-handling at the terminal building, a review was conducted by the regulators and thereafter additional provisions were included in the new regulation that allowed all airlines, including foreign airlines, to undertake self-handling within the terminal building where there was passenger interface. This included passenger and baggage handling activities at the airport terminals. ZADI, 2010b. One of the functions of AERA is as follows: AERA, 2009, to monitor the set performance standards relating to quality, continuity and reliability of service as may be specified by the central government or any authority authorized by it in this behalf. The quality of ground handling services and aeronautical activity would also come under the purview of AERA. Once AERA publishes the actual economic regulation of airports and air navigation services, it would be expected that the quality of ground handling service offered at all airports would be monitored, and the inefficient performers would be replaced by entities that follow best practices. This will be a guide for all the foreign carriers who would be interested in operating their service to India and who are unfamiliar with the performance and quality standards of the ground handlers operating at an airport. 6.2.10 General Agreement on Trade in Services (GATS). The GATS of the World Trade Organization came into effect during 1995 to provide certain principles and rules for a multilateral framework for trade in services. It is important to note some of the main features of GATS. Firstly, GATS aims at the progressive removal of barriers to trade in service. Secondly, it aims to cover all tradable services in all sectors. Thirdly, the benefit of the country is balanced with all the goods and services offered and not just one particular sector. IATA, 1999. Ground handling regulation in India. A comparison with international policies and practices. The literature review as part of this project revealed that ground handling services was included in GATS in its first air transport publication, WTO, 2006. As per GATS, ground handling services is directly related to airline operation. Not many officials in the aviation industry are aware of this agreement. But considering the fact that there are quite a number of international ground handling companies operating in India, the impact of GATS might be limited. In the Middle East, the airport operator considers ground handling services as a monopoly activity of the airports. However, the service quality offered is considered top class. ITS, 2011. This agreement might be of influence in such regions. However, there is no data to confirm it. Future research could be done on the impact of the inclusion of ground handling services in GATS in different countries.